Okay guys, thought I'd make a quick video on Bitcoin. It's getting into the apex of this pattern. As you know, I've been a little bit bearish on it, a little bit concerned about it, a little bit, Twitter has been extremely bullish on it and calling for, for a moon and all the rest. I've been a little bit the opposite way, to be honest. I've been not really liking this pattern and slightly fearful that it's going to drop. Not fearful, but concerned. Well, I would prefer it to moon, of course, but I've just not been as bullish as most people, at least not yet. No, I still could be, but I just feel the pattern needs more, and I am concerned that this, to me, this to me looks like that could drop. It looks like it could be distribution. At the very least, right? And I hope I'm wrong. Of course I hope I'm wrong, and I hope this moons out of this pattern. And overall, the larger structure is bullish, right? But at the very least, right, what could turn me more bullish? Well, if we fill this pattern here and start holding, right, there's a few things here. So if we can fill, it's flipping green here actually. If we can fill down below a little bit and then and hold, right, that could still turn out to be some sort of bullishness and bullish pattern that we are then going to create something like what gold created. Gold done something like this. Just look at gold very quickly to remind people what gold done. Okay, as far as a weekly pattern goes, it done something like this, like a large rounding pattern. Now, it did take a long time, but it done a lot of this, so it never really dropped that much, and it just it faked out and tried to drop, and it continued to round back up. Okay, so something like that, or even something like this where it failed down below. It had a fake out here and then started to moon. Okay, so we could say that this is the failure below, possibly like gold had, and we could continue to well, I do think we still need to fill down here, but what if we done something like what gold done, right, and do something like that and fill the space and then round back up? I'm still open to that. So that is a bullishness, okay, but I need to see more, right, to be more comfortable about the pattern. Now if I just come back here, right, we've seen these before. And of course we've seen them at tops of the market or middle of the market, middle of the, there's a very tight pattern here that flushed. When we got into the apex, it dropped hard, right? It dropped hard. What happened over here? Well, we got there. What happened here? We got a weekly bearish candle, and then the next one we flushed. What do we have right now? Okay, let's just see. Well, we have, and I'm going to move this down because it looks different on different time frames. The monthly is a tighter pattern. Let's move some of these because it's confusing, right? So you can see we have a bearish candle here. Now this is in when I look at this now, this looks to be creating some sort of bearish flag that wants to later drop and fill this wick here. That's what I'm seeing at the moment. This is technically, it's a bearish bearish engulfing candle. That bearish engulfing candle can often, not always, but can often lead to bear flags that can later go lower. So it's saying that bounces here could possibly shorts that can then go lower. So in 5 days time, right, and this looks semi okay, but it's got this triple wick here. It's a three-tail theory. Three-tail theories are usually result in downward action if you get three tails at the top, usually. Okay, in 5 days time there is a new 9-week candle, and also in 5 days time there is also a new 2-week candle. Now what are we getting here? What is this? This is technically this is a bearish engulfing candle in a bearish pattern. This is an outside bearish candle. And when you get a bearish candle here, it usually leads to further downside, right? So I am kind of expecting this to break, right? And as we talked about, I mean, I've been expecting this to fill somewhere down here. So we need to see what happens if and when this fills here. Ideally, if it's strong, this will hold and can round back up, and we can do something like gold done. Now, if it starts to fail below here, it's getting dangerous, right? It is getting dangerous. Now, as I mentioned many times, there is a concern, and Bitcoin is bearish now. Bitcoin is bearish on a larger macro time frame currently until proven otherwise, right? Because this is a failure above the previous yearly high, right? So, you know, in a way, you're supposed to lean with the bears unless you get back above this green line. So technically Bitcoin is bearish, but that could change. We could push and get back above this green line. But, you know, it makes, you know, it tells you to be cautious and to be watching out for more bearish patterns, because the bearish patterns might have precedent right now and might overtake the bullish patterns. But, you know, you just have to watch it closely. Overall, the macro, like the pattern itself is very bullish in a way, but in very bullish patterns you can still get 50% retraces, you know, before seeing that continuation or something like that. Like here, I mean, that was a bullish pattern, but, you know, COVID ended up happening and you drop right back down. More than a 78% retrace before getting the move. So I'm just saying, I am still a little bit skeptical on this pattern, right? And we just have to show it. It's green here. It's holding green, right? I'm just going to draw that line right there. Actually, I like the white line better in the moment. You know, we're kind of there. And as I said before, if we're ever closing below the neckline, we need to be very careful. And technically, this neckline, we are below it. Depending on where you draw it, do you want to draw it at the wicks? Maybe we can draw it right there, because the market is really trying to hold this level a lot, right? So, okay, we'll leave it there. We'll not go with the bodies. We'll go with the wicks, and you can kind of see there what's going on. So we are coming into the apex. This is a monthly pattern, by the way. Now, of course, if a monthly pattern breaks down, right? If this fails here, and then if we do break down, well, you know, monthly patterns take time to resolve again before getting the real move. So I'm just saying, we need to be very careful. We need to watch it here. We need to see how it goes. I hope I'm wrong, right? I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that this pattern absolutely explodes out of here. I hope this is a bullish engulfing candle right back up. I hope right now the market finds some strength and we do this, which is very possible. Anything is possible in the moment. We all know how bullish Bitcoin can be. There's a low supply. There seems to be a lot of buying pressure, the ETFs. Like, so, you know, if I'm wrong, well, maybe you could buy Bitcoin right now with a stop below this monthly low, and trade this to the long side and see if this pattern is going to break out to the upside. I would personally like to see it fill the wick below. How long is this video? 7 minutes. So you see here, I mean, we have this bearish candle here. It's not easy to, like, look at this one. It's not easy to overtake a bearish candle like this. Let's move that out of the way. How is price going to get back above this candle without some major consolidation? Now, how do we do that? Okay, well, we could do this and consolidate, and then it'll break up, right? Then it'll do something like that. Here, that's a you know, it's a large bearish candle, but how did we overcome it? Well, we had consolidation with a bearish failure. This failed to the downside and turned back up and turned bullish. So there's a failure and there's consolidation, and that led to failed moves equals fast moves in the opposite direction. Right now, we don't have any of those. We don't have consolidation. We don't have a failed move to the downside. You know, what this needs is something, boom, take the liquidity, pop right back up. Consolidation, boom, right up. We need something like that to overcome this large red candle, just like here. Well, I mean, this continued to fall actually, so it's a bad example, because this red candle did cause more downside. This red candle has not caused downside yet. So how does it overtake the red candle? Well, it needs consolidation and probably a failure before moving up. So that's just what I'm looking at. I just don't think it's ready. I think we need to be careful. I think there's, you know, the new 2 week and the new 9 week is going to be very important. You know, you see the bearish engulfing candle here. No, it was a weekly pattern that there was a bearish engulfing candle there. I'm not saying it's going to do the same thing there, but I'm just saying after you get that bearish engulfing candle in the pattern, it ended up starting to move. We are different now. You know, the yearly is green for a start. Back then, the yearly was red because it was into a new year, and the Bitcoin had flipped red on the year. This is different because Bitcoin is green on the year, right? There is differences in that. The market will generally hold up better than people expect, and this is what it's doing. But it doesn't mean that there can't be dips. Okay, so 10 minutes on the video. This is long enough, but I would like to see this filled, and let's take it from there. If we look at the total market cap 3. Look at the large wick down here. It's empty. It's not filled whatsoever. We have a bearish engulfing candle here. It closed below. It's kind of suggesting that bounces in theory should later sell off to fill this wick. That's when this market could, that's when it really could actually turn bullish and actually start really moving to the upside. That is the important point on the chart, guys, if this fills. So we need to watch very carefully. Is it going to fill? Is it going to fail? Let's see. In theory, right, if this is going to hold, this is technically when you want to be buying your altcoins. This is the total market cap 3, excluding Bitcoin and ETH. Okay, so this is the altcoin market, right? This is all altcoins. So, filling this candle is where you want to be buying altcoins, in theory, to see if this holds. If this does hold, it could be an amazing opportunity. If it starts to fail, well, that's another story. Okay, we'll have to assess that when we get there and check out the action.